Here's what we will be discussing today during our time together. First, we will receive a welcome and updates from the ELU. Then we will discuss leadership and sustaining support, followed by breakout sessions. And finally, we will bring it back together at the end for wrap-up questions and answers. All right, Miss Stephanie, I'm turning it over to you.
Thank you, Tyler. I just want to welcome everyone again. Tyler did that, but we're excited that you did choose to log in with us for a little bit on your Friday. We know those Fridays are precious to most of you on this call. Just a few quick updates. One, Dr. Thomas Williams does send his regards. He is no longer with the Kentucky Department of Education. His last day with us was this past Monday, October 13th. So he has moved on to try to achieve his overall goal, which is he wants to be on that national platform someday. So we do wish him well. He asked that we send his regards to you guys, and he wanted to thank each of you for your continued dedication to our youngest learners across the state. So that is our biggest words of welcome and our updates today. The other one, I want to talk just for a few minutes, and if we do wrap up early, I will hang on this call with you. As you all know, those quarterly reports need to be coming in. Time is ticking. Some folks have emailed and asked specific questions. If we've given you an answer, that means you're good to keep spending your money if you've received those answers. If you have questions, please email me. We have every grantee right now on my records and OFO's records. You have several hundred thousands left to spend. So if your finance officer has said they've sent stuff, double check with them. Make sure they're sending it to Drew Hawkins, and so she can send it to me. Um, Everyone except for one district, and we have one district that has spent everything. So thank you, Graves County. If you are on here, thank you for getting that taken care of for us prior to the grant cycle ending. There unfortunately will not be an extension. So please do not hold out hope for that no cost extension. Chris Thacker has been chatting with me, and we are for sure ending this by December 30th, 2025. If you have to order materials, please get those ordered. Send us your reimbursement pieces. Make sure those narratives are descriptive, so that process can move smoothly to get you guys reimbursed. Again, a lot of times, folks, this is not on our coordinators or our principals. It comes down to making sure your finance folks are getting those sent in to us. Please let them know these funds will get sent back after the grant ends. So we need to spend that money. And like I said, I'll hang on at the end of this call if anyone does have any questions.
All right, thank you, Stephanie. So just as Stephanie mentioned, with the PQP grant coming to an end, we thought this would be a great opportunity to discuss the topics of leadership and sustaining support. We hope that you can apply some of the information that's shared with you today to your programs as we close out. I'm going to begin with what is instructional leadership. But before we discuss the instructional side of leadership, I want to explore leadership itself. Leadership is more than just a title or a position. Think of it more as a mindset that individuals can use to collaborate and achieve results that they may not be able to achieve while working alone. Just last week, I attended the Division for Early Childhood's annual conference, and while in a session, a presenter discussed how authentic leadership begins within oneself. One's mindset will essentially determine if they are a leader or not. Leadership is also action. Leaders help guide us, which is the reason why. Let's make sure we get everyone muted. Okay. Which is the reason why I placed a compass on the side of the slide. However, I probably could have included a screenshot of Google Maps or Apple Maps because that's more relevant today. But anyways, that's besides the point. Now I want you to think of a leader or leaders in your life who you look up to, whether that be a real person, or a fictional character or superhero. I will give you just a moment to envision that person, character, or superhero. And while you're doing so, think of these questions. Why are they your favorite leader? Or why is your character or superhero your favorite? So like I said, I'm going to give you just a second to think of that, and then I'll take a few examples. Okay. And if you already have that, you can either go ahead and raise your hand, and I can't see everyone, so Stephanie, if you'll just call on people when they raise their hand, or you can just unmute and share. This is a hard question, so it may take you just a second to think about it. But this will help with the next thing if you share for me. Anyone can. Just one.
I'll share. I have a leader in mind, and he communicates vision very well.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else? It can be something simple.
Tyler, I think what's important to me is integrity, trust, and then doing what they saying what they mean.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else before I move on? Okay. So Christy just said the word doing. So it seems that more often than not, your favorite person or your superhero is your favorite leader because of an action that they have taken that has had an impact on your life or on others. If you think about it, it is the actions of a superhero that make the superhero themselves so favorable or likable to begin with. They are leaders because of their actions. And this same concept can be applied to instructional leadership, which leads me to that next bullet. Instructional leadership supports effective teaching and learning and provides guidance and direction for instructional improvement. So thinking back to what I said earlier, leaders do not have to hold a position that can be classified as a leadership role. Leaders are the ones who are taking action. They are doing the work day in and day out. Think of teachers and instructional assistants in your schools and programs. They are doing the instructional work each day. And with that in mind, include them in discussions that are being held on instruction. Let them be leaders in discussions to help guide decisions. So with the Preschool Quality Partnership Grant coming to an end, it's time to think, or just like this little girl, look ahead. Here are a few questions to consider if you have not already done so. Do you have the following systems in place? People. Do you have the personnel to help carry on the work after the grant is over? Communication. Do you have the communication plans in place? And the processes. Do you have the processes in place that will continue after the grant expires? So before we go into our breakout groups, here are some additional questions to take into consideration during discussions. What are some practices or activities that your program has implemented most recently? And how do you plan to spend the remaining funds? So with those questions in mind, the ones from the Thinking Ahead slide, these breakout rooms are going to be the perfect opportunity for you all to get answers from your peers. We're going to give you approximately 15 minutes or less, depending upon your needs, to talk with each other. We'll then bring you back into the main room and we'll take time to share any innovative ideas that were discussed as a large group. Okay, so I think Stephanie is going to send you all to breakout rooms. And like I said, we'll bring you all back in about 15 minutes.
It's spinning. It's thinking about it.
Oh no. But like I said, this will be the perfect opportunity for you all to to talk with one another about things that are going on or how you plan to spend those remaining funds.
Okay, they are open and folks should be bopping over into your room.
I've lost you all.
You're back with everybody.
All right, everyone. So now that we're all back together, does anyone have anything they'd like to share? Any ideas you may have, actions you have taken or plan to take?
So I just want to give a shout out to my group because I'm still pretty new to this and trying to learn what the PQP is all about and all the things. And my group just really helped me get some ideas together, gave me contact information, who I could ask for help, all of the things. So I just want to give a shout out to them for taking the time to do that for me. I feel like I took the entire conversation, but they were like, "Oh, we know she's struggling."
Good. I'm glad that it was helpful for you, Melinda. Anyone else feel like that those breakout rooms were helpful for you all, or just any ideas that you may have that you all are doing?
Our group discussed just what we were kind of spending money on, the companies we were using. It's just hard because of the space. If we're doing a lot of materials, is running out of space at our school locations too. So trying to be creative of what we can send home to parents and what can stay in the classroom and what we could use at the end of the year, but having the space to do that with too.
Yeah, absolutely, Angel. So that is a lot to consider because there was a lot of folks within your contracts were using money to fund positions because that's what the ultimate goal was, right? Was to create something, a system in place to serve our students, full day, wrap around, partner with childcare and what have you. And so when grants end in December, not everyone is fortunate enough to have funds left over within their district to encompass that remaining balance. But yeah, so just I encourage you to keep thinking outside the box with your materials. Remember that goal of PQP is to support the whole child, everything, from family, to after school, before school, in school, all the things. So I just encourage you to be creative there. And like I said, you guys can always email if you have specific questions on what you can spend and what you can't. The biggest piece that seems to be a no is the technology. And so that is a little bit of a Debbie Downer. But if you go back to that funding matrix, technology is the biggest piece that we do have to steer clear of. But other than that, we've got, you can be creative. So hopefully that you guys could chat with each other and get some ideas from the vendors to the materials to maybe neat ways to store stuff. I don't know. Maybe you have a building at your house that you can, throw stuff in the backyard for a little bit. I don't know, but
Anything that's left for material. So we're in that situation with the salaries. Can we go ahead and just code our materials without, because it's going to come down to trying to spend that money out. Can we just spend that out and send that in on our reimbursement form, like our report?
yes, please.
Because it's going to have just like we had discussed, it might show negative in materials and supplies, but we're going to have to spend off of the salary line item. So that's okay to do that then.
That's okay.
Okay.
Some folks have emailed in official adjustments. It wasn't needed, as long as the amount of money that you received. Most of you received 300,000. Some had around 200. It just, I'm not sure who did the, Tyler and I are new, we're not new, but we're new to this work-ish because it was gifted to us as other people left. I will forever refer to this as Bill Buchanan's retirement gift to me. I inherited Christy's laughing. I see your face. I inherited a lot of Sweet Bill's buckets. That was his gift to me. But yes, absolutely. As long as you are spending no more than what you were awarded and you're following the funding matrix with purchases that are allowable and that those narratives are descriptive. I can't encourage that enough, that they need to be descriptive. And that's usually not on you guys. Again, it comes back to your relationship with your finance officer, because they're usually the folks that are submitting those into Drew. So just make sure that you give them a little help with those narratives on what you've spent. Did anyone have any, ideas or solutions on maybe sustaining the work outside of ordering materials after the grant has sunset?
Stephanie, this is Christy. I didn't get to share this in my group because we were having great conversation. However, in partnership with our family resource centers, there's a lot of this work that we can continue to partner with, because our Frisk do such a great job with supporting social emotional wellness and the family literacy. The wraparound part is just continuing our partnerships with our local child care centers. We're fortunate to also be a recipient of the Kentucky Literacy Grant. And so a lot of this we're able to continue within that Kentucky Literacy Grant through partnerships with our local child care centers. But then, just the day-to-day work, whether it's our regional training centers or our school Frisk, we're continuing those plans through there.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for sharing, Christy. And I don't think this district is on here this morning, but I talked to someone at one of our fall leadership meetings, and just it makes me sad as well. But this money was put to such good use for people. So one of our districts in Eastern Kentucky, through the PQP, they were able to extend the days, their regular days that they supported preschool students. And when this grant ends, unfortunately, they're looking at having to go back to their 2-day program with less staff. So I'm hoping that, you guys can advocate, for other opportunities. We will, of course, be advocating within our office and talking to folks if there's ever any other opportunities, because we do, it's hard to find good folks. It's hard to find folks. It's hard to find warm bodies in preschool. And so anytime that we can find something or a way that we can, increase and extend and enhance what our kiddos are receiving, that's great news. So definitely keep your eyes and ears open. I don't know of anything coming, but there's a lot of hot topics around preschool right now. So definitely stay tuned to all the things for opportunities that could come your way.
Does anyone else have anything they want to share out that would be for the good of the group? Okay. All right. So
I
our
have one
next,
question.
oh,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead. Nope, go ahead.
Somebody came to the door and I might have missed it while she was speaking. So if I did, I'm sorry. But we had discussed about the money. We wondered about encumbering the money, or it all needs to be finalized by December the 30th.
So Allison, I did send you an email and I did copy, I think it was your finance officer. Technically, yes, there is a period after the grant ends. I encourage folks not to bank on that, because right now, as you know, we do not have someone in that director position for the early learning unit. And so my personal concern is that funds left after December 30th, someone will go ahead and send those back if you've not sent in your final invoices and your reimbursements. Technically, as Drew Hawkins did say, there is a time period after the grant ends that you could encumber those funds. To me, it's still taking a bit of a risk, but if you want to do that, you absolutely can. And what I will do, if you are a district that's interested in doing that, please email me and say, this is part of my plan, so I can let our finance office know. So money doesn't disappear or get spent or sent back to the GOEC. So KDE's part, we were a sub-grantee from the funds from PDG into PQP into ABC. No, I'm kidding. There's no other letters, but we were the sub grantee holders. And so after this grant ends, I do have a meeting set up with GOEC and we will look at remaining balances. And so they would then make the final decisions on any funds that might be lingering after December 30th. So that's why I say maybe, if you need to, you do have that opportunity, but I wouldn't linger long, if that makes sense. Just trying to look out for you guys, honestly. I don't have I'm not the end all be all. I'm not the decision maker, but I wouldn't linger long with that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, Allison. Sure.
Okay. So our next session will be on Friday, December 5th. During this session, we will not have a set agenda. This will just be an open forum for you to join in the event that you have questions or concerns as the grant concludes. I will send out a calendar invite between now and then with the exact time that Stephanie and I will be on.
Yeah, that'll be a great time. I will be on at that time with balances. You can always email me prior to, of course, as well. But right now, we've got a few folks that still have Q4 reports out. So if you are on this call, it's usually not anyone on the calls. But anyway, if you are on this call and you've not got Q4 sent in, that one is a little bit past due. So try to get that one in because we're in Q5 now. So Q5 reports, those start coming in usually between October 25th, October 30th, whenever you guys can get those sent our way. And I'll update those balances and would be able to share that information with you at that December 5th meeting. That way, you've got this much money and this little time to wrap that up. Again, also just remember, we will talk briefly at that one. There is a final report, not a finance report, but I sent you, it's a really simple, y'all, it's just a little Word doc with some boxes, but I do have to collect a final report on this work with the PQP. So please remember those will be coming up as well. Please don't overthink those. If you have questions, call me, email me. A lot of you on here actually have my personal cell phone number as well, just from Teapot, Pyramid, other pieces. I'm super available to help you jot those things out. So we will collect those and I will then do a synopsis from those to our grant evaluators. So please remember those as well. And if you have a friend that's not on here, share with them just, what we talked about today, which is spend your money and send reports in and keep serving kids because that's our ultimate goal. Sorry, Tyler, I jumped back in. That's what I do though. Sorry.
Can you please remind me when that final report is due?
Yes, I want to say it was December 13th-ish. Let me look at my calendar real quick while Tyler's wrapping us up.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So before we conclude, please scan the QR code and complete the evaluation. I will also paste a link in the chat for those who would rather complete the survey through that means. So I'm getting that in the chat now. There you go. And then thank you all again for joining us today. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to either Stephanie or myself. We will do our best to answer those. I hope you'll have a great rest of your Friday and an amazing weekend. I know some of you are still waiting for Stephanie's response. So if you are not, you are welcome to end your session when you are ready.
Could you
Otherwise,
Could you put the QR code back up again, please?
I'm so sorry. Yes, I probably did go through that a little quickly.
Thank you.
There you go.
So, where'd you guys go? These button, too many windows. So I looked at our email. I don't see that there was a date on there. So that's a oops on me. Let's look at, again, these are coming to me. So you guys, I'm really flexible on those. Let's shoot for, if you can just get it to me before you go on Christmas break, that would be wonderful. If you do not feel you can do that, please email me, text me, call me. But yeah, just because folks, that's such a busy time. We've got a few things coming up that I know that we'll see some of your faces at. We've got the Early Childhood Institute coming up November, 1st of November, that we're supporting with the Governor's Office of Early Childhood. Then you get a little bit of a break, and then I know several of us will be at Kentucky CEC. We've got a lot of really great sessions. Some of us, me included, got drawn for that weird Sunday afternoon session. So if you are coming and you want to get there early and you want to get some door prizes, my session will have door prizes from Discovery Source. I'll be presenting with Rebecca Turner and Amy Patterson on discipline in school, P through 12. So we've got lots of folks, at CEC, and then you've got in between all this, we know you've got your child count, so can't forget that. So like I said, and then you'll have Christmas things for your students and your staff and your family, your own personal kiddos. So just like I said, if you can get that to me before you go on Christmas break, that's great. If something comes up and you can't, these are coming to me. So just shoot me an email or a text or a call and let me know. Again, it doesn't require any extra attachments. It's really just that simple Word document that we sent out, just a way to capture some big bucket items there for us.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Does anyone have any other questions?
Stephanie, I did have a question about the Q4. We have a different finance officer at this time, and I was just wanting to verify that she had turned in Q4.
Metcalf, I do believe so.
Okay.
I think I just approved Q4 for you. I do think so. Let me look real quick here.
She's
Those
good to
went-
work with, but I just want to verify because she's only here part-time.
I believe those went on to, yep, they went to Greta. They went to Dr. Hilton on Wednesday. So I approved your Q4. I approved your Q5. So you've got both of those in. Those were reviewed by me and Chris Thacker, and those have been sent to Greta. So I'm sure that those will go back to finance and get sent out to Thelma Hawkins pretty soon. But yeah, you've got 4 and 5 in, Allison.
And one more question. Our parents are having difficulty. There was a survey sent out for them to do. Is it all right if I type it up and then I just enter the responses for them? Because some of them are having difficulty doing with the, it's the technology that they don't understand.
Do you know where the survey came from? Because I'm not sure what you're talking about, Allison.
There is a survey, I think it's due November the 14th. It was a survey sent to our staff, and then we were supposed to send to the people that participated for the grant, to the parents.
Did that come from UK or Northern Kentucky University?
I think it was Northern Kentucky University, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And I can type it up and have them respond and then me put it in. I just didn't want it to show that I was putting every response in,
Sure.
like the location.
I will reach out to Jason Gilbert for you, Allison, and see, is anyone else having trouble with the survey? Any families having trouble with that? Did everyone else receive the survey? We don't, Melinda doesn't know. Girl, I don't either.
It's always an issue with the digital surveys. A lot of times we send both like digital and hard copy. Is that what she was talking about? I missed the first part.
Yes,
Like being
ma'am.
able to use, yeah.
Yeah,
So
they-
if we used hard copy and then just entered those into the digital format, is that?
Yes, I just didn't want it to show that I entered every day,
Well,
you know.
You know, for the preschool, for actually our preschool, what we do when we do our preschool survey at the end of the year that's required over our program, they allow us to do that. So I'm not sure if that would be an issue. I mean, they don't have a problem with it for us to put the information in GMAP. So I don't know. Who
Yeah,
would
so
make
this
that call?
is coming, so I'll reach out to Dr. Gilbert with NKU. So the survey didn't come from us. So they're our
Okay.
program evaluators or our grant evaluators. So I'll reach out to her and just kind of explain the technology, with the survey going to families. And I will email you guys. Here's the fun part though. So if you are new to this work, because we had some turnover, and you don't get an email from me, reach out. Because Air Directory, I discovered it wasn't updated. Again, Tyler and I inherited this work, so we may not have the correct contact information for folks. So it is Friday. Dr. Gilbert's usually pretty quick, but give me until, next Tuesday. If you've not heard from me by Tuesday, please reach out. Because it might mean that I don't have the correct email or whatever. Okay. But let me reach out to her because we didn't create the survey. So I would hate to give an answer on their behalf. I'm sure she'll come up with something that will work for you guys.
I
Whether
actually
it's
have a
you all
focus.
filling it in or what have you. This, as long as they're aware of what we're doing.
I have a focus group with Dr. Gilbert today, so I can ask that question as well. That others had the same question as I have, so I might ask that question during our focus group today because I
Yeah,
need to
that's
know that
okay.
answer too.
Yeah, and
Sure.
you can just let her know. Like I said, I'm going to email her.
Okay, yeah.
You can let her know that I was planning to email her.
Okay.
But that's fine. Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome, Donna.
Okay, any other questions or concerns?
Hey, well, we won't keep you. Just remember to stay tuned to the news you can use. Dr. Hilton sends those out. So, I'm always begging for our preschool folks to participate. We do have some folks that have sent things in, but please, PQP would be a great thing to highlight in your district. So if you want to submit something for news you can use, please do so. That would be wonderful. We appreciate you, and I'll let Tyler close us out, and I'll hang out for just a minute after he's done if other folks need to leave, but someone has a question that they would like to ask still.
All right. Thank you all. Like I said, make sure you have completed the evaluation for us. The link is also in the chat. Otherwise, you all are free to enjoy the rest of your Friday. We have given you 13 minutes back.